Last week, I brought to you a stock I think is looking ready to break out and have a significant move to the upside. Right now, I'm going to bring a similar ticker to your attention in case you are worried about having all your eggs in one basket, that basket being Qualcomm, QCOM. This is the one I brought to you last week that has been in an accumulation zone period since August and is looking like it's finally wanting to break out of that, as you can see with this big green bar for the weekly stacking on top of the previous weekly, taking out the 21 week with strength, slamming into the 50 where it is finding a little bit of a struggle here at the 50, but it may find its ability to conquer that here. Now, some of you may see this as a breakdown, then a retest of the 50, and then a breakdown further, but that won't be seen until it's beneath 155. So basically, if it goes under 155, yeah, this is invalidated. But there are some serious tailwinds in the semiconductor space, and that is where Qualcomm is, which is why I'm very, very interested in it. Now, the other ticker, this is it right here, STOX, S-O-X. This is the semiconductor ETF. So this has all your favorites in it, right? This has got NVIDIA in it. This has got ARM in it. This has got Qualcomm in it. This has got AMD in it. This has got Intel in it. This has got all of those semiconductor stocks in it. Okay, so this is the market for semiconductors. Now, this didn't go down nearly as much as Qualcomm, but you can see that it did have a significant drop off. And I'm going to show you a technical pattern here that I'm very, very excited about. In fact, I'm going to show you two of them that I'm very, very, very excited about on this one. And we're going to look at this. Now, before we start talking about those technicals, let's look at exactly what's in it. Now, I know I mentioned some of them, but there are a lot more in here. In fact, there's 35 of them exactly, right? 35 pages. Okay, 35 pages of these. Can I make this look bigger? Maybe show more. I guess, yeah, okay. So 1 to 35. So there are 35 holdings in here. All right. So it starts with Broadcom. Broadcom is their largest holding with a weighting of 10%. So 10% Broadcom, 7% NVIDIA, 6% AMD, and 6% Qualcomm. Then Texas is beneath that, Marvell beneath that, KLA, Lam, Research, Taiwan Semiconductor, Applied Material, Micron, Analog Devices, Monolithic Power Systems, ASML is down here. What is the ASML holding? 3%. That's only making up 3%, even though ASML makes is the only company on earth that makes the machine that every other company that produces semiconductors needs in order to make semiconductors. They're the only ones in the world that make it, and they only get 3% of this. Meanwhile, AVGO gets 10%, NVIDIA gets 7%, AMD and Qualcomm matching at 6% of this fund. Okay, those are the big boys. Intel's all the way down here. Intel is down there with ASML. What's Intel's holding? 3.2%, just barely less than ASML, even though Intel's kind of been on the dumpsters for a while. Lattice is on here. All these, look at all these. So basically, all the semiconductor companies you can imagine, starting with Broadcom at the top. Broadcom actually beats out NVIDIA. That's very interesting to me, actually. Anyways, so if you want exposure to every single one of these companies, some of the best companies on the stock market, SOX stocks is your ticker. Now, what are we looking at here? Why do I think that this thing is ready to break out? Okay, so I'm going to draw a couple things on the chart here. So first of all, we've been getting held up by the 50, right? We just broke out from the 50. We broke out and above from the 50, and we opened and closed the candle above it. Now, it does have a wick on top, which I hate. I hate that wick up there. So that has me thinking that this is probably going to come back down to the 5 week somewhere around 5,216. Right there. Boom. Right there. I think it could potentially be doing something like that. We'll see. Okay, anyways. Couple of technical patterns. I'll talk about these technical patterns, and then we'll talk about the ticker that I will actually be trading for this thing. Okay, so technical pattern. 50 is holding us up. It's doing a very good job of that. It's been doing a very good job of that since August. Okay, so let's go back here, turn this off. Let me get my paintbrush out here. So I'm looking at a triangle here, right? Coming up, sloping up, 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 and then went flat right here. That is a flat top triangle. Okay, that is a flat top triangle. That is very bullish. That is very, very, very bullish as there's a trend line leading up into a flat top where they're selling off. And once it breaks above this, which it almost has, it's so close to doing it. Once it breaks above that, then we have the potential for a move from the lowest low to the flat top, right, which is right here. So that is the move up from that flat top that we can expect. So we'd be looking at a move, something similar to like this. Boom, right there. which would be a 50% move from the bottom or about a 25% move from current prices right now, which is all the way up to 6,379. Now, a lot of you probably are saying, well, I can't buy a share of that at $6,000. That's a huge amount of money. And we're going to address that here in just a minute. So we got the flat top triangle. That's really fantastic, right? We also have this accumulation period that we've been going through for a while, this nice long, so we broke out, we broke down, we came up, and we just started accumulating. We got an accumulation pattern. Accumulation patterns, okay, like to break out to the upside. So we got this nice long accumulation. This has been going on since July, honestly, of 2024. Let's see if we can get something similar, kind of like, can we find another flat top triangle? Just looking real quick. Can I find one real fast here? That's going to be what I'm looking for. Not really, but we had like an accumulation period here, right? Back here in 2021, where it accumulated and then it finally broke out, fiddled around a little bit, and then launched up. We're looking at something like that, right? We're going to break out, we might fiddle around a little bit, and then launch up higher somewhere near the end of the year. Now, why do I think that this thing's got such tailwinds? Now, we've got the federal government with a $100 billion AI bill coming through. Okay, most of these companies are all exposed to AI. This is going to be a big beneficiary of that. Now, there are potential. So we're doing 100 billion right away, then another 400 billion in the pipeline potentially. That is huge. We've got all the hyperscalers pumping up all the money they're going to pump into this thing. We're talking trillions of dollars potentially coming into this space, into the AI space, which the semiconductors are at the head of that. They are the tip of the spear. Okay. All that stuff is coming in. We are also looking at semiconductors are also really important for the Bitcoin mining. Yes, of course, Bitcoin mining, and we are in that cycle as well. So we've got an AI cycle. We've got a crypto cycle. We've got a pro AI, pro crypto administration. You think that they can hold this thing down? They can't. Now, what else do we got going on here? Okay, so we've got the accumulation zone, right, where we've been accumulating. We've got a flat top triangle. Okay. Then we've also got a MACD cross up here on the weekly, and that is a pretty aggressive cross up that we got last week. Okay, and then we've got on the BX trender. This thing has just been gliding up, and is continuing. We've got the stochastic here. We got yellow on green, and the yellow is pointing straight up, and green is just turning into one of those big wide mouths, just like a big whale scooping up all that krill. That's what we're looking at right here. We're looking at all signs pointing up, thrusters to the max here, coming with that federal support, coming with that crypto cycle, coming with the fact that these are the companies that make it all happen. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. All right, so what is the ticker that I am actually watching? What is the ticker? The ticker is SOXL. This is a 3X ETF of stocks. Okay, this is the 3X ETF of that. This is the one I'm looking at. All right. Oh, look at that. That's a little nicer. It looks a lot like that Qualcomm chart, right? It went flat, came down, came right back up. Went flat, came down, went right back up. This is also looking very much like a Wyckoff distribution, right? We've got our previous accumulation zone over here. We've got our impulse move here, right? Got our impulse move here. We got our distribution. Let me scooch this over, get a little closer. We got our distribution area. Our distribution zone was right here, followed by the huge drop off right there. And now we're back where? We're back in accumulation. And what's next? What's after the accumulation that was back over here? Oh yeah, that's right, the impulse up. That's what we're looking at next. And in fact, the thing that's making me even happier about this, the thing that makes me even happier about all this, let me move all these drawings, is that this accumulation zone here is actually at a plateau higher than the previous accumulation zone, meaning that it will go higher than this price right here, which is at $70. And right now we're at 32, so that's pretty exciting. That's very exciting. The only thing that makes me sad is it's not higher than this previous accumulation zone back here, which was in 2021, which led to, let's see, this is the exact same pattern we're looking at. See this 2021 pattern right here? From January 2021 to October 21, which took off in October. So that we're talking about 10 months of accumulation and then a pop off. This thing's been accumulating since late July, so since August. So, just fast forward 10 months from there, and that's what we will likely see that big pop off there. But what was the move up? How much of a move up did it give us? So we'll start from right here. We'll start from the highest point of the accumulation zone. What did it give us? 50%. Okay. If you bought that dip off that highest point, what did it give you? Going right there. We'll go from the bottom of that bad boy. Gave you 100%. Okay, that's what we're looking at here. We're looking at potentially, so we're not even close to the top of this thing. So if we went to the top, if we bought the top and we were hoping for a 50% move, right? We'd be looking at going to what, $63 off of that. If we got from the bottom and we expect it just to come up to even just 70, if we're just expecting to get back to 70, we're looking at over a 100% move from where we currently are on SOXL. That is awesome. Now, let's take a look here. Same technical signals, right? Same technical signals on the MACD. We got a cross up. The stochastics, we got yellow on green. They're a little wispier, a little weaker than on stocks itself, but they are there. We also got the BX trender just slowly gliding on up since here. So that momentum's been coming up while price has been coming down. So that is divergence. That is very, very exciting there. I like that. I like that a lot. This doesn't have the flat top triangle on it, but this is derived from SOX. So it will benefit from that same breakout when it gets it. So we're at this accumulation zone right now on Stoxel. Okay. This is what I'm watching. This is what I'm looking at right now. I want to see it hold above the 200. I want to see it get above this 50. Above this 50, I'm very convicted in this thing. I'm very convicted. I have a lot of conviction in this above 39.55, and I have conviction up to at least the 50s, maybe even up to 70. That would be a very big stretch, but I'd be very excited to take it if it does it. Okay, I'm looking for this thing to give us some momentum off of the 200-week moving average and drive higher. Let me bring up something I haven't showed you before. Let me go here. Yeah, right here. Okay, so this one. This is a setup I really like lately. So basically we've got we've got different types of MAs, like the shaded area, the green and red. This is like showing this is a 10 moving average over a 100 moving average. When it's green, the 10 is above. When it's red, the 10 is below the 100 moving average. And then this other one is just the 200, the 50, and the 20 moving average here on that one. That's just moving averages with some shading to them. That's all they are. Now, we had the cross down on this thing, right? And it turned red. When this turns green again, that means it's cooked long enough. That means it's ready to go. The last time we got okay, so hold on. The last time we had a little dip down into the red and we crossed up into the green, we went from 22 all the way up to 56 before we took a break, came back down to 30, and then we went up to 70. Okay, that was the last time. When we came off a really, really bad one, it did a little cross up, right, and we just went a little bit higher before coming back down to test the lows and then took off again. But same thing over here. Look at this. Like we had this big move up, we had a little tiny red move down, right? Whoops, tiny little red move down, just like we are experiencing right now. But then when it turned green again, it went from being at $11 all the way up to 48 before it took a breather back down to 27 before going back up to 73 again. Oh man, look at that. That 70, that move from like 30 to 70 is pretty consistent on this bad boy. So right now, I don't think it's ready yet. I'll say I don't think it's ready yet. But once this little cloud here, okay, so I'll come in here. This is just two moving averages with zone coloring. So two moving averages with zone coloring by Arch Stro. Okay, that's all this one is. I didn't change anything to it, okay, except I made the background a little brighter so I could look at it a little more nicely, and then I turned off all the lines. Like all these lines were on, like all these different EMA lines. I just wanted the background coloring because I just want to see if it's red or green, giving me a trend. Okay, so right now the trend is red, but it is closing up. And when this turns green, I'm gonna go ahead and dive into this thing, and I'm gonna be looking for a move at least up to $50, potentially even up to 70, because it's done that move multiple times, where it's giving you multiple 100% move off of this level, doing that. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I want to do right now with SOXL. And with that said, nothing I say here is financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. Please do your own research, come to your own conclusions before investing in anything. All of these have inherent risk. Every investment could potentially go to zero. Be careful out there. Scrutinize this thing. Investigate this thing. And let me know what you think in the comments. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description, as well as the channel bio, and have a profitable day.